your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Happy Tuesday, Margie. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle. Happy Election Day, Margie.
That's right.
Yes, I was out early this morning.
I'm very proud. I voted early.
I see that. I have not yet. I am going to do that after this show.
Okay.
But I was out this morning in Huntersville helping out a friend, and I have to tell you, lots of patriotic people coming out today wearing the red, white, and blue and star. Yeah, it felt really good. And I know the last time we went out there and we helped, there wasn't a whole lot of people coming out. So sounds like it's going to be a
the
strong...
early vote was strong.
Yeah.
Or it was slow. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a strong election year, and I'm hoping that everything goes the way it should. I saw Mayor Washam last night with the lovely Mrs. Mayor, and I'm hoping that everything goes the way that it should in Cornelius as well. So I'm excited about our guest today.
Me too.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
He is Christmas every day of the year.
Is Santa? Well, I think we have a special guest
Santa's
today.
brother.
Santa's brother. Santa's Irish cousin, I understand. I was learning about his name that is Irish, so that is exciting. But tell me, dear friend, how was the wedding this weekend?
Oh, I froze to death.
In
It was
Florida?
cold, yes.
Okay.
We were in Vero Beach, and it was very windy,
Okay.
and then we had rain. But I have never seen a happier bride or a happier groom. She said to me the next morning, I never got dinner. I had one bottle of water. They danced and danced and danced, and they had a wonderful time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good to talk about good things in our community these
Yes,
days when
yes.
when we have some not so good things that are going on. So we're going to focus, Margie and I, on putting a smile on your face and helping you make some hope happen. So if you want to talk to us, you can call the studio at 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464. Margie and I are waiting to take your call, and our guest today will probably want to share something with our listeners. So if you want to talk to him too, we'll let you give us a call.
Neil was on our Little Smiles board for several years. And it's been a wonderful relationship because what he needed that we had that we couldn't use, like bikes, typically our kids aren't riding bikes in the hospital. Those usually went to the siblings.
Gotcha.
Or Ronald McDonald House.
Nice.
And so he's got the key and the code to go into our storage and take what he needs, and it's reciprocal. And it's just been we're both here for children.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And speaking of storage, I'm your neighbor there. I got a new storage yesterday, which actually makes me crazy because it's one of the things we talk about in budgets with our residents about getting rid of your storage. But in our case, it is a much needed thing because we are moving forward with our next build.
Yes.
And as items come in and folks are so generous to donate them, such as furniture and things, we need a place to store them.
Yes, you do.
So it makes sense. And I'm excited to get moved in and get settled there. So I'm your neighbor. And now I understand that Neil is a neighbor there as well. So I feel like there's a whole nonprofit thing going on over there. So
you'll start to see Toys for Tots there every day.
Awesome.
Which it's wonderful because they help move toys in for us.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about them and to, learn about possibly partnering with them to understand how the operation works. I know that they're a big presence in our community. There's lots of places where I'm seeing, the donations for Toys for Tots. And so it puts a smile on my face to know that most of the kids in our community are not going out without anything for this Christmas.
Right. That's right.
I think Christmas is about children, and we need to teach them what giving is all about. And then we also need to follow through and teach them about gratefulness as well.
That's right.
At Hope House, that is a big deal for us of understanding that, when you're blessed and someone is generous, you need to make sure that they understand what gratitude looks like. So, big teachable moment for us. So that is exciting.
Well, and it's important that they learn how to express their appreciation too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Free has no value.
No.
But what did my good friend Margie teach me?
Take the R out of free and charge a fee.
I've used that line many a time, that's for sure. So, anyway, what else is going on? It's 1,000 degrees out today in November.
Well, I had to come home to get warm.
Crazy weather, right? I mean, I was in Raleigh for a day last week, and it was freezing.
Yeah,
freezing.
Last week was cold.
And, my husband sometimes will call me the princess because I have a 1 degree temperature difference that I'm comfortable at. And I was like, oh my gosh, it just went right through you. And then 2 days later, it's back up to 80 degrees.
I know.
Crazy, crazy. But when that sun goes down, you definitely know it is November. November for sure. So what else are we going to talk about?
Well, how we can all help each other with the holidays coming up. It's the time to give.
I think it's going to be a tough
grateful.
season.
Yes,
I think there's a lot of hurting families.
Yes.
And with the economy, there's a lot of folks that are, probably sitting here listening today going, how am I going to afford Christmas? How am I going to pull this off?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we get some information to you today on how we can make it a happy, hopeful Christmas.
Yes.
And put a smile on a child's face. How long have you known Neil?
6 years, maybe?
Yeah, probably 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
Neil, when Margie asks you to serve on the Little Smiles board, I'm sure there's not many people that say no to her. Did that happen to you?
It's very difficult to say no to Margie.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I got to start asking for more then.
She gives you that look, and you don't even dare say, no, thank you, I can't fit into my schedule.
No, last week we had a guest on, and we were talking about, some of the parties that she does at the hospital, and I was so enthralled with listening. I said, I want to go. I want to be a part of
Our
it.
pizza party. Yeah.
My husband said, what are you doing, signing up for another thing? I said, I don't know. When you're a giver, you just can't help yourself. You want to be able to give in all different arenas.
Well, the first pizza night party we did, a father came up to me and said, my son can't come to this room for pizza. And I said, oh, we're going around to all the rooms.
Oh.
And he said, we haven't eaten a meal in days.
I'm sure.
I took 3 boxes of pizza and said, here, take it, give it to the nurse. She'll freeze it for you or take it home. And he said, we're staying here with our son.
Oh.
So I said, you can always get a piece of pizza now for a couple days.
Margie, you seem to be in the right place at the right time for the right family.
Yeah.
I think that's one of your God-given talents to be able to do that. So I think it's next weekend. You and I are going to be at the Peninsula Community Foundation Gala.
Yes.
And I am looking forward to spending the evening with you at that night and learning about the good that's happening in our community. So when we come back from our break, we are going to be chatting with Neil. He is with the Marine Corps League and Toys for Tots. And we've just learned from Margie that he is Santa's brother. So we're gonna find out what that looks like and how we can help him. And I know that that's a name that is synonymous in our community with hope, which is Toys for Tots, because we know that there are children that are going to get some good Christmas and good smiles out of that. So when we come back, we are going to be chatting with Neil Mulkeen. Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
My Irish brother here. And we're going to learn about Toys for Tots and the Marines when we come back on Community Centered.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Santa's coming to town. Come out to Birkdale Village from 2 to 7 p.m. next Saturday, the 18th. Activity Row, Birkdale on Ice, Beer Garden, dance performances, and the tree lighting parade. Dance away the end of the night with live music. Saturday, November 18th. The fun begins at 2 p.m. and the tree lighting ceremony starts at 6. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Love bingo? $1 bingos this Friday starting at 1:30 at the Iredale Senior Center. That's at 344 East Front Street. Bring $1 and your own snacks to play. $1 bingo this Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, Iredell Senior Center. Ever wanted to witness a time capsule installation? Huntersville is having a special time capsule installation December 2nd at Veterans Park during their Huntersville Christmas celebration. I wonder what will be in the time capsule. Make plans to attend now. Visit huntersville.org for more info. December 2nd, a special time capsule installation in Huntersville. Singer-songwriter Mitch Rossell is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. You may know Mitch from America's Got Talent or from Garth Brooks' 2022 Stadium Tour. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Country music artist Mitch Rossell this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies this afternoon. That high temperature is going to be a warm one. We're getting up near 78 degrees today. Clear skies are expected to remain through the evening. That low temperature tonight isn't actually going to be bad at all. We're going to drop down only to 50 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on WSIC.
Welcome back, and I am thrilled to be here with one of the most giving people I know. This room is full of giving and gratitude. Neil Malkeen was on our board of Little Smiles for, I think, about 3 years. And his wife, Laura, is Mrs. Claus's sister, too. So they both are very giving in the community. And what I have enjoyed about the relationship is Little Smiles works through the nurses, and anything those nurses say the kids need, we provide. And so when we hooked up with Neil and Toys for Tots, we worked together because our mission was to help the children. And if I had toys that I couldn't use, Neil would take them for his kids and vice versa. And it really was an amazing relationship. Neil is the Commandant of the Marine Corps League Detachment 1242 and the lead of the local Toys for Tots program. This is his 8th year in North Mecklenburg, but he first got involved in 1975. That's a long commitment.
Wow.
Long commitment.
Yeah. What got you started?
Well, years ago, I was on active duty in the Marine Corps at a reserve center.
Okay.
And at the reserve centers, and I'll explain a little bit about the Toys for Tots program, the Marine Corps Reserve are the champions of this program. They were the ones that started it. It goes back to 1947, and it started in Los Angeles, California. There was a World War II veteran who was a Marine officer who was a member of the Marine Corps Reserve. And they thought for Christmas they would gather used toys. So the program started with used toys, and these Marines would collect the toys, clean them up, refurbish the toys, and distribute them to needy children in the Los Angeles area. Then the Commandant of the Marine Corps heard about this program and said, it's a terrific program. So then the following year, he directed that all Marine Corps Reserve Centers in the United States would have a Toys for Tots program. So that's how it started. And again, they started by taking used toys and refurbishing them. The program has continued, obviously, for a long time, and is today, this year will be the 76th year of the Toys for Tots program.
Wow.
And just to give you an example of how it's grown from those initial 500 toys in Los Angeles, 1947, in 2022, the Toys for Tots program distributed almost 25 million toys, books, and games.
Wow.
And serviced almost 10 million children. in both the continental United States, Puerto Rico, and Hawaii. So it's grown into it's a very, very significant program.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
So one of the reasons they wanted to have this program was really twofold. One, to provide a connection between the Marine Corps and the civic community. It was intended to be an awareness of the Marine Corps. I mean, people certainly appreciated the Marine Corps and viewed the Marine Corps as a elite combat organization of our armed forces. But the Commandant said, no, we need to be more tied also to our communities and to be civic oriented. In my discussions with people in the community, I always tell them about Marines have a lifelong obligation. We have a lifelong obligation of service.
Yeah.
Our Marine Corps League detachment, our motto is we're not done serving, we never will be. So it embraces a lifelong commitment to service. Okay, once a Marine, always a Marine. You heard that. It's not a trivial little gimmick or comment. What's embedded in that is a lifelong obligation
Yes.
of service and support to our communities
And brotherhood.
and brotherhood. Yeah, part of
Yeah.
it is to keep the traditions of the Marine Corps going,
Yeah.
to have fellow Marines associate with fellow Marines and
Yes.
support our traditions. But what's also embraced in that is community service. So we do a number of different things. Toys for Tots has certainly been one of our major projects. During the wintertime and the springtime, we have a backpack program for homeless veterans.
Okay.
And these backpacks are filled with shirts and socks and personal care products that we provide for homeless veterans. Eagle Scout recognitions, when Boy Scouts achieve the Eagle Scout rank, we attend their ceremonies. We provide them with a certificate and a gift that recognizes their achievements. Recently, we've adopted a program to help veterans and even non-veterans who may need durable medical equipment, wheelchairs,
Okay.
walkers.
Wow, that's a huge.
Yeah, the problem is a lot of veterans do not go to the VA. So some of these things are available through the VA, but again, you have to apply to the VA and you have to be connected with the VA, and some of these people are not. And in some cases, even rental of durable medical equipment is beyond their means.
Right.
So there's always a need. So this is a relatively new program that we started by collecting these items for veterans. And I've also assisted retired police officers and firemen and
Oh,
EMTs
that's
and
beautiful.
people who do good things in our community.
So if anybody is listening now and they'd like to donate some of this equipment, what's the best way they should go about it?
They can contact the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps League Local Detachment 1242 has a website,
Okay.
so they can reach out to us on the website, or they can call me, and I'll be happy to provide that information. They can call me, and we will be happy to receive the items, and we will also be happy to go
Pick
pick
them
up the
up?
items. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So Neil, I don't think you're Santa's brother. I think you have a superhero cape that you got tucked in your green shirt
No.
there.
Yeah.
I think you're being overly accommodating by saying those nice things. I think it comes back down to, again, providing good service to our community. And all the Marines who are part of our detachment are very, very concerned with that. We volunteer at Angels and Sparrows, as well as other civic organizations. If there's a need and we can do it, we will provide the support.
Wow.
And you're dedicated.
Yes.
They are, and they truly believe in that we have an obligation to literally to the day we die of servicing in our community. Just because you served in the Marine Corps 4, 5, 10, 12 years, you're not done. You're not off the hook. It's if you truly believe that you are a Marine and you are a Marine for life, then that means you have a continued obligation to be a good citizen in your community.
So we have a gentleman in our neighborhood who's 93 years old, who is a retired Marine, and he would, to this day, tell you he is very service orientated. He's very loyal to the Hope House, and Papa Joe, we love you, that's for sure. But just wanted to give a shout out to him, and I'm just overwhelmed with the really good things that you're doing in our community. If that doesn't sound like hope to me, Margie,
That's right.
I can't even
agree.
imagine.
What's your most popular thing that the kids need right now? So if somebody's out shopping and they say, I've got a box right down the street from me, I want to put something special in it.
That's a great question. Typically, when people think about Toys for Tots, they're thinking about children for ages 4 to 10. But we also need toys for toddlers. We need toddler items.
Yes, and teenagers.
And we
too.
also need things for teenagers. There are a number of different parties and events in the community that provide for 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Angels and Sparrows, when they have their annual holiday party, there's some 12, 13, 14-year-olds that come.
That's such a hard age.
It is,
Yeah.
but we try to, if items are not donated, we use some of our funds to purchase the items. So
Okay.
we'll buy items appropriate for teenage girls, teenage boys, to make sure that they have something too. I don't want to leave anybody out, but typically, when people think of Toys for Tots, it's the traditional toys that children get
That's right.
ages 4 to 10, and they're not thinking of the teenagers, but we do.
Yeah.
We think
good.
about them
Good. And the babies, too.
and the babies, and we think about the babies, toddler toys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and we were just talking about when Debbie, we first started the radio show, had a need for baby furniture and baby clothes. And by the time I got home, we had that baby furnished, totally furnished.
And I'm still getting requests and emails for people. And I can drop off baby clothes. We're like, we're good. We're good. We got this.
Well, now
right
you have a
now.
storage unit. You can take some more.
Yes.
We're very fortunate, I think, because we live in a community where people do want to help others and
Yes.
do want to assist others, and they recognize that there is a need, and we have a lot of people who want to help. Part of the challenge is, where are those avenues of distribution?
Right.
What are those needs? How can I help out? Where can
Yeah.
I donate? Where can I
Yes.
do these things? So a lot of times it's a matter of education
Yeah.
and letting individuals know what services are available or what organizations are available that they can contribute to. One of the things I would hope that contributions and support is throughout the year. During the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays, unfortunately, people are very, very generous, almost over generous, and sometimes you get almost too much, and then it dries up throughout the year. And
Well, that's why we're here.
and that's why in our communities we need help and we need support, and there's families that need help throughout the year, not just
Yeah,
at Christmas
That's
time.
right.
Christmas is important, but that's only one stop in the year.
Yeah.
We have other needs that we have to support.
That's why we try to be Christmas every day of the year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those nurses can come to the storage unit and take 200 toys. And I say the same thing to the firemen and the policemen. Take a bag of toys. If you have to go to an accident and there's a child scared, hurting, you can give him something or her something
Absolutely.
to detour what they're going through.
Our program does not necessarily have a cutoff. We will have toys available right up through Christmas. A couple of years ago, I had a call from a local police department. There was a house fire on Christmas Eve, and they wanted to know if there was toys available Christmas Eve. And at 11 o'clock, I met them
Oh my gosh.
to ensure
how
that those children
wonderful.
salvage some part of a Christmas.
Yeah.
So we don't.
That's
we
what
don't,
it's all about.
We don't shut down.
No.
We have toys and we're available right up through Christmas.
Yeah.
We moved a family in at Christmas 2 years ago to Christmas Eve, a mom and her 8-year-old and her 13-year-old. And it was probably one of the highlights of my career to see the families in the main house say to this mom and her children, don't worry, we've got Christmas. We've got so much here. We'll share it with you. So they took their gifts that they were waiting for them under the tree and shared it with this mom and her two. And I'm telling you, that's Christmas
That's
for
right.
me.
That's right.
When you see that or you hear those kind of acts, that's what Christmas is all about.
Yeah, it is.
For sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, awesome. Well, we're going to come back here from a break in about 30 seconds, and we're going to talk a little bit more with Neil and find out more about his superhero cape that he wears and all the amazing things that he does for Toys for Tots. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm just really so grateful. Before we go, I just want to say how hopeful you're making me feel with all this good news today.
You're very
'cause
welcome. Very
we
welcome.
needed to hear that, right?
Yes, we sure did.
Absolutely. And don't forget, it's election day. So get out there and vote, vote, vote.
There's more of Community Center with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle coming up from the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help, so you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgranger.com or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies this afternoon. That high temperature is going to be a warm one. We're getting up near 78 degrees today. Clear skies are expected to remain through the evening. That low temperature tonight isn't actually going to be bad at all. We're going to drop down only to 50 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Here's a WSIC Business Minute with local entrepreneur Joe Fagnone.
I want to talk about the importance of building relationships. I've been fortunate enough to meet some incredible people, and one of them, all-time favorites of mine, renowned national speaker Steve Gilliland. Steve once shared with me a statement, "If you want to have a friend." These words hold true for personal and business relationships, giving advice, offering your time, and willing to help others. It's the foundation of building strong, long-term relationships. My buddy Steve Gilliland exemplifies this principle in spades. I feel incredibly fortunate to have experienced his generosity firsthand. Success is not about achieving your goals. It's about lifting others up along the way.
This has been a WSIC Business Minute with Joe Fagnone. Listen for tips on how to improve your business daily on WSIC News Talk Now.
Save on stuff you really need and stuff you bought for fun. Stuff you always really wanted this holiday at Amazon. Stuff that is discounted if you're naughty or you're nice. Stuff to buy your grandma who drinks her Chardonnay with ice. Stuff to make you big and strong. Stuff we can name in this song. Stuff for lawns and decking halls. Save big on stuff at Amazon. Stop!
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus, plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive, whatever the season is. Randy Marion service departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
King of Price, RandyMarionStatesville.com. Now more of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my co-host, Margi Kyle, founder of Little Smiles, North Carolina. We are here listening to Neil Mulkeen, hoorah, a Marine who is a superhero in our community, talking about all the wonderful things that Toys for Tots does. And he volunteers at Angels and Sparrows, and he's looking for some durable medical equipment that if you have that to donate, you can call the studio at 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464 if you want to talk to Neil, or if you want to talk to Margi, or if you want to talk to me. We're here to listen, and we're here to make hope happen and put a smile on your face. Right, Margi?
Absolutely.
How are we doing that today?
By figuring out what's the best way for people to help. And my question to Neil would be, okay, I know the boxes are coming out soon. I want to donate, but what toys don't you want donated?
That's a good question. Toys that look like guns.
Okay.
Toy guns
Yes.
are a problem. They really are, and we don't want those.
Yeah.
And the foundation encourages us to discourage people from donating those. There's really not a restriction on a lot of other toys, but they have. First of all, they have to be new toys. We're ideally looking
Okay.
for new toys.
Yes, we do too.
Broken toys, dirty toys, unhealthy toys doesn't work.
Yeah.
I have PetSmart is a wonderful organization. They donate us brand new, clean stuffed animals, so we know they're good
And
to go.
you donated a whole bunch of leftover ones to Little Smiles one year.
So used stuffed animals are a little bit of concern for us because of health reasons. So
Right.
we're very, very concerned about making sure that the toys are clean. Ideally, they're in their original package for the
Right.
children.
Yeah.
They don't have to be wrapped. We don't have them wrapped because we want children to be able
Well, you
to
want to see
pick.
what it is.
Right. The child wants to be able to pick the toy.
Yeah.
But really, the toy guns is probably really the only restriction
Okay.
that we have. Bikes, we can always use bikes and scooters
Yeah.
because there's
We
always
usually
a need,
give you a lot of
need for
those.
that. So
Yeah.
there's always a need. We try to distribute
What
those.
about technology?
Technology is hard because a lot of times it requires extra equipment or things that require batteries. A lot of these families don't have the money to buy batteries.
Okay.
Good
So,
point.
so toys that require batteries only cause the complications. Once the batteries die, a lot of these children and their families don't have the money to replace the batteries. So
Okay.
that's probably
Yeah.
another thing that probably is. It looks like a good intention, but
Yeah.
but it actually creates a problem in the long run.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
One thing, if I can interject at Hope House, space is at a premium. So sometimes super large toys can be a little bit inconvenient because
Like the monkey I gave
Yeah,
you?
well, no, but we make an exception for the monkey, our sweet, sweet monkey. But really, really large monster truck type things, they're great, but the kids don't really have room for them, or they don't fit easily in
That's a good point.
in their small
That is a
small
good
little
point.
spaces that they have. So where could someone find the boxes? I know you're out there and you
Yeah,
see them, right?
yeah.
Toys for Tots box. Where are they?
They're in a variety of different places. One of in the Huntersville, Cornelius area in particular, the realtors are one of my principal supporters of the program.
Okay.
They do a terrific job, and their buildings usually have signs and vinyl wrap Toys for Tots, so they're pretty visible. Our boxes are out. You'll see them.
Okay.
And if people, they can always also call me and ask where the boxes are, but they're fairly visible in the community.
Should we give them your number, Neil?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
You want to give it to them?
Sure. It's 704-576-0343.
Okay.
Give me a call. I'll be happy to tell you where our boxes are.
And you probably recognize the red choo-choo train, right? Isn't that's
yes,
on
the Red
there?
Choo Choo Train.
Yes.
Do you know where that comes from?
No.
Oh, let me tell you about that. That's a donation from Walt Disney. That is the registered trademark of the Toys for Tots program. Early in the Marine Corps' involvement with Toys for Tots, they reached out to notable individuals,
Okay.
actors, and support people to give it some drive.
Yeah.
One of the key supporters was Walt Disney. So Walt Disney said,
Isn't that beautiful?
I will design you your logo." So that
Okay.
official logo, people can't just use that.
Huh.
That's a trademark.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a trademark. But that's a
What a
Walt-
beautiful person to do it.
yeah, that's a Walt Disney creation.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Leave
And
it to Disney to
Yeah.
put a smile on your face, right?
It's been our logo for forever. And probably will be because people see it and they say, "Oh, Toys for Tots, the little train,
Yeah.
little red train." Walt Disney designed that.
Well, I know my oldest grandson met you when he was just starting in the Marines. And he now still works for Toys for Tots.
So tell
And-
us.
There are people who our program is kind of limited locally because again, I have a limited number of volunteers, and it's basically a program for November and December, and then we have to shut it down. I don't have the manpower to sustain it. However, there are organizations in the United States that all year long they operate it all year long.
Yeah.
The largest Toys for Tots program in the United States is San Diego,
Okay.
and number 2 is Atlanta. Massive programs, massive. We're talking about millions of toys.
Really?
Oh yeah, lots of toys. They're very, very big programs. But they have the manpower and they have the logistics and the warehousing and all that stuff to do it throughout the year. So they're equipped to do a few things.
Well, just to make a child feel normal and happy for one day.
Absolutely. And it happens. I'll give you a quick story. There's a annual holiday party that we provide the toys for, and children come in, and we have Santa Claus there, and they get to pick toys. So each year we try to provide the child with a choice of 3 toys,
Okay.
plus a stuffed animal, plus a lunch, and some other small things. Little boy came in, he was 8 or 9 years old, and he said, "Do I get a toy?" I said, "No, you get 3 toys." And his face lit up. He said, "Wow, 3 toys." He said, "That's great because there's 2 boys who live on my street and they never get anything for Christmas. I'm going to get something for them." I'll tell you what, you could have knocked me over with a feather.
I know.
And I was standing next to one of my other Marine friends, and I said, "Who's going to start crying first, you or me?" Right? Here's 2 old crusty Marines. This little boy just made our day.
Absolutely.
And he let us know. And it comes back in different ways. I'll give you another quick story. There was a woman who came in who donated toys, brought in a big bag of toys, and explained to her daughter that a number of years ago she was unemployed, I think almost homeless, and the Toys for Tots program assisted her and her children. So what she was saying to her daughter was, now it's time for us to pay them back.
Yeah.
So
What a
people
beautiful
remember.
story.
People
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
how these programs have helped them, and then when they're able to continue, get on their feet and get going, a lot of them remember. And again, it's 2 of my favorite stories over the years.
Yeah.
But it shows you the concern and generosity. And we've had many young teenage children say to their parents, "I don't want anything for Christmas. I'd rather you purchase toys for these other children." And I think that's outstanding.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, for 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds
Yeah.
to be that unselfish
That's
is
right.
just
Yeah.
remarkable.
We often get that at Hope House. This is the time of year where people reach out and will say that, our family this year decided that, together we wanted to donate to the Hope House. What did the children need? And it's just so heartwarming to be on the receiving end of such
Yeah.
generosity and
I remember the one
smiles.
year when we had just moved to Vancouver, BC, and I sat down with the kids because we had left our foster daughter in California. And I said to the kids, "What do you want to do?" And they said, "We want to get another child that won't have Christmas and just have them for the day." And that's what we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
how sweet.
Yeah.
That's terrific. That is
Yeah.
great.
So, but I think if you ask your kids,
Yeah.
how can they help? What would you think another child that's hurting would like, and let them be part of it? That's a great education
It
for
sure
them.
is. It's a great
They still
teachable
talk
moment.
about that, that one Christmas.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I think that makes for all of us on the receiving end of, trying to facilitate this, all of the hours, the manpower,
Yeah.
the effort that we put forth. That is the one moment where it all makes sense and it
Well,
matters.
So all the volunteers who I work with, associate with, sometimes they frown, and sometimes they get a little tired, and rightfully so, because they work hard. I said, remember, it's all about the children.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's about the children, not about us. It's about the children. And when you see the reaction on their faces, for example, when Angels and Sparrows has their holiday party, we get to see these children. You get to see the reaction on their face.
Yeah.
They walk in the door and there's Santa Claus there, and they're excited, to be able to pick toys that they normally would not have.
Yeah.
And to see just the
Yeah.
excitement, enthusiasm, it's great. I remember it every year as almost like it happened yesterday. It's terrific.
Why can't it be Christmas every day?
I
Neil?
wish it was. I wish it was for these kids.
It is for us.
But some organizations want to have almost like Christmas. It doesn't have to be a Christmas toy, but it's other support throughout the year. It could be clothing, it could be food. There's tremendous needs that go beyond Christmas. So
Absolutely.
and when you see some of these children and providing for them, it's excellent. But
Yeah.
there are needs throughout the year. Christmas is again only one part of.
When we
part of
come
the year.
back, we're going to learn more about how we can help make hope happen all year long.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Santa's coming to town. Come out to Birkdale Village from 2 to 7 p.m. next Saturday, the 18th. Activity Row, Birkdale on Ice, beer garden, dance performances, and the tree lighting parade. Dance away the end of the night with live music. Saturday, November 18th. The fun begins at 2 p.m. and the tree lighting ceremony starts at 6. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Love bingo? $1 bingos this Friday starting at 1:30 at the Iredell Senior Center. That's at 344 East Front Street. Bring $1 and your own snacks to play. $1 bingo this Friday, 1:30 to 3:30, Iredell Senior Center. Ever wanted to witness a time capsule installation? Huntersville is having a special time capsule installation December 2nd at Veterans Park during their Huntersville Christmas celebration. I wonder what will be in the time capsule. Make plans to attend now. Visit huntersville.org for more info. December 2nd, a special time capsule installation in Huntersville. Singer-songwriter Mitch Rossell is coming to Kane Center for the Arts this Saturday. You may know Mitch from America's Got Talent or from Garth Brooks' 2022 Stadium Tour. Buy your tickets before they sell out. kanearts.org. Country music artist Mitch Rossell this Saturday. Doors open at 7 p.m. kanearts.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays now through November 19th. Save your dates. Don't miss the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com while supplies last.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. Sunny skies this afternoon. That high temperature is going to be a warm one. We're getting up near 78 degrees today. Clear skies are expected to remain through the evening. That low temperature tonight isn't actually going to be bad at all. We're going to drop down only to 50 degrees. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Stop dreaming about the perfect lawn and make it a reality. Drum Landscape Supply now offers personalized lawn plans. Visit drumlandscapesupply.com and collaborate with our experts. Drum Landscape Supply, your local one-stop landscape shop.
Quality Car Care is your local Toyota specialist and a licensed NC inspection station. Plus, find a huge selection of quality pre-owned cars at QualityCarCareStatesville.com or call 704-871-2535.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered on 105.9 FM. I'm your host, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle. We are listening to Neil Mulkeen. He gave his phone number out in the last segment, 704-576-0343, for you to get in touch with him to learn more about Toys for Tots, on how you can donate, how you can, if you have some medical equipment to donate, and what was the third thing?
Lots of new toys.
Lots of new toys.
We were talking during the break, and Margie asked Neil about monetary donations, and Neil said it's actually easier to get the actual toy because, manpower. That means you don't have to go to the store and shop for it, and you can just get the toy fastest and quickest to where it needs to go.
That absolutely works the best. Years ago, when Toys R Us were still around,
oh yeah,
if people remember that, they had a partnership with the Toys for Tots program. They would allow us in the store before it opened to the public, where we could do our bulk buying. And they had a great program based on how much you would spend. They would give you a credit. I remember the one time we spent a fair amount of money, and they rang up everything and said, "Okay, great. Based on what you purchased, you now have another $1,000." So we went back in the store and bought another $1,000 worth of toys. Unfortunately, they're not in business, which is we then have to.
That's why we stole their name, and we're Smiles Are Us.
Yeah, but there are local stores. Quite frankly, I don't give too much credit to a lot of stores, but there are a few stores locally that are really great. Target store is terrific.
Yeah.
Target store, first of all, we are a 501c3 nonprofit. So we are tax exempt, but even with that, they give us extra things. Target store, the managers there, in addition to honoring our 501c3 status, also give us extra perks and take additional discounts, and they've been terrific, not only for the Toys for Tots program, but also for the backpack program for homeless veterans.
Oh, that's
wonderful. Where I buy all the components.
Okay.
Our backpacks are filled with socks and T-shirts and personal care products, all of that stuff I buy at Target store, and they give us a discount and they give us additional help. So I have to give them credit because they do a terrific job.
Okay.
At Christmas time, we have a local gentleman every year buys 40 bicycles out of his own pocket.
Wow.
He goes to Target, he orders from Target, and we go pick them up, and we load up the 40 bikes, and he takes out his credit card and he pays for the bikes.
Wow.
So talk about local
Well, and one of
concern.
your Marines too came to our storage unit, Smiles Are Us, and saw that we were out of baby blankets. So he
Yes,
bought out
yes.
Walmart. I
He
think
did.
it
He
was.
did buy at a Walmart.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that story. He went to a local Walmart down by Camp Lejeune, down in Jacksonville, and he asked the manager, "Do you have any of these baby blankets?" And he said, "Well, I have so many on the floor." He said, "No, no, no. How many do you have in the store?" He said, "Well, I have all of these in the warehouse." He said, "Good. I'll buy them all."
Yeah.
Wow.
I think you had maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years worth.
3 years.
Worth of blankets.
Yeah, which
that
was
he-
amazing.
Yeah, personal.
Wow.
Yeah, he went and paid out of his own pocket.
Yeah,
To,
yeah.
do it, so.
How do you think the toys have changed over the years? What have you seen change, Neil?
It's kind of interesting. Children, everybody thinks all children only want high-tech electronic toys. Board games, kids still like
Well,
board
they
games.
love it.
And they're
And
very
they love
popular.
Uno.
Yes, and yes, they love Uno. And a lot of the older traditional box toy games are very popular.
Yeah.
They like them. They like them.
That's awesome.
Um,
I think I've seen some Fisher Price things that are coming back around that my
Well, just look at
30-something
how
year old
Barbie's
kids play.
changed.
Barbie. I bet she's
And
going to be a
Ken.
popular
Oh,
item
yes,
this
yeah.
Christmas season.
Well, a lot of things have a cycle, and there's a window of that particular product, and it kind of closes and goes away for a couple of years, and then it opens up again.
Mhm.
But it's interesting to see some of the children who really like the board games. I did another charity event a couple weeks ago. Is our church did a clothing coat event. We provide coats and blankets one day a year for families. And this little girl came in at the end of the day. She was hoping, because they also donate some used toys. There was a box game that she wanted. So we told her, at the end of the day, whatever's left over, you can come back. Little girl came back. She was so excited because the box game was there. It's there, it's there. She came over, showed it to me. It's there, it's there. And so some of these toys, even though they've been around for a long time, the kids like them.
Yeah.
The kids like them. Again, as I mentioned, the challenge is electronic toys and some of the other stuff. You have to have more sophisticated equipment.
Yeah,
Or you have to have
yeah.
batteries. And for a lot of these children, it's if a family's trying to put food on the table, they're not buying
That's right.
electronics and
Yeah.
they're not buying
Mhm.
batteries. That's the sad reality to a lot
Batteries
of that.
are expensive.
They are. They
Yeah.
are. They are.
Yeah.
It's one of the donated items we request at Hope House because of that reason, that they're expensive. And number two, they go in all the games
Yeah.
and all the donated toys that we get.
Absolutely.
So we
When we do have time and a child that is well enough to come to our storage unit, we give them a bag and say, you cannot leave till it's full. And I'll never forget Jim Cooper. And we had Jim on our show, and he said, you're giving too much. I said, have you ever told a child they can only have one toy at a toy store? I don't want to be here all year.
There's never too much. And again, some of these children, quite frankly, they may be the only.
They're taking for their friends
yes,
too.
Yes. And many times they've never had these toys, so
Yeah.
it's a grand experience for them.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes at Hope House we talk to other children, and we always ask the question, you know, if you had to be homeless tonight, what would you put in your backpack? And the answers are my Xbox game, my bike, you're like, you have just a backpack to bring with you to the next place. What do you? So then they're like, well, maybe I need a toothbrush, maybe I need a blanket. Like then they get to it, but toys for some children equal home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
there's a
when you
comfort
don't,
level.
and when you don't have a toy or a home, it's devastating to know that these kids are sacrificing and going without that. So I just want to honor you and give you thanks for what you do in this community for our children on behalf
Yeah.
of someone who
Yeah.
services over 55 kids a year at the Hope House. I know that I've seen kids go without, but I've also seen them get plenty when they're there because of the generosity of our
Yes,
community and folks like
yes.
Margie who say to me, come to the storage and, fill up and get what you need for the children. So I just know that I'm on the receiving end of that, and I'm super delighted to have had you as a guest
Well,
today
thank
to
you.
learn about all the great things that you're doing, not only through the work that you're doing with Toys for Tots, but Angels and Sparrows, a great partner of ours.
One of the questions I always get is, do you think the system is being abused or people are taking advantage of it? And like any situation, I'm sure there's a small percentage that are, but for the most part, the answer is no. And I tell people the children who need these toys, need these things, are truly genuine.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of abuse of it, and so I'm confident. I'm confident. That's why I also when I work with the police departments and civic organizations and churches, I have to trust them, and I do, that they are doing the right thing, and they're vetting the families, and truly the children who need these things are getting those things. So I have 100% confidence that it's all being handled properly, and it's not being abused. I will tell you one other thing about the Toys for Tots program. 98% of the value that they receive, whether it's a cash donation, toys, whatever it may be, goes out. Only 2% of their overhead is used for the boxes, the brochures, the advertisement.
So you don't take a salary, Neil?
Oh, no. And all the people who support the program are volunteers. Now, there is a small group of individuals at Quantico, Virginia, because it's a big program. They have to have a couple professionals. Their salary is paid out of a trust fund. There was a woman years ago who loved Toys for Tots. She would give lots of money, and when she passed away, she willed her estate to the Toys for Tots Foundation.
Wow.
That's what pays their salary. So all the money that comes into the Toys for Tots program goes out to help people. 98% of every dollar of value goes back out.
I have learned a tremendous amount today, and
That's
you
what
have
we do too.
restored my faith in humanity on this day to know that, you know what, there are going to be some smiles and lots of hope in our community because of Toys for Tots. And I want to thank you again for the work that you do. I know it's not easy coordinating all of this.
And when you retire, you've got to come back to Little Smiles Board.
I wish you could have just seen his face.
The challenge we all have with volunteer organizations, there's so much you can do, and you flat run out of time.
Yeah, you
and
do.
You have to pick and choose. You have to pick and choose because you can't do it all, but there is opportunities for people to volunteer. There is opportunities in our community where people can make a difference, particularly with families and children who do need the help.
Yep.
And when you know you're doing that, you'll sleep better at night.
Yeah, you sure do.
Yeah, if you're feeling, we've talked about this before, haven't we, Margie? If you're feeling bad about anything that you've got going on, if you would just donate or volunteer to a non-for-profit in your organization, if you're choosing, right? I'm not soliciting Hope House. You're not soliciting Little Smiles. Wherever you want to land, nothing feels better to know that you've made hope happen that you've given of your time and your effort. Children don't ask for much, and folks that are in a crisis are asking for one thing, that you hold the hope that they're going to get through it and can manage. And all of the other stuff is just sweet stuff.
Yeah, Debbie, that's a great point. I would encourage people not only to volunteer, but pick something that you can relate to, something that's meaningful to you, something that you can say, you know what, I like that. And when people do better at the things that they like to do.
Well, absolutely.
We as humans, we hate to do things that are forced upon us. But if we get to choose what we want to do, generally it happens with a lot of enthusiasm. So I would encourage people, pick something you can relate to. Pick something you think you really want to, put in that kind of effort. And again, it'll be a benefit not only to the individual volunteers, but the recipients of those hours.
Well, and I spent a year in the hospital when I was 16, and I know what it's like to be a child in the hospital.
Neil, we want to thank you. You've been a great interview today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
I'm not sure what happened.
Well, that was fun.
Wasn't it fun?
It was fun.
We're fun, Margie.
Yes.